ब्रह्मनिष्ठा कल्याणी है।
ज्ञान और तप की गाथाएं,
ज्ञान और तप की गाथाएं,
कवि की वाणी,
आदि कवि की वाणी है।
गंगा जलसा,
जहाँ का गंगा जलसा,
गंगा जलसा,
गंगा जलसा,
निर्मल है अविराम है,
निर्मल है अविराम है।
हर बाला देवी की प्रतिमा,
हर बाला देवी की प्रतिमा,
बच्चा बच्चा राम है,
बच्चा बच्चा राम है।
जीवन है इस दुनिया की,
जन्नत हम है रमण बिहारी के। रमण बिहारी के ठाकुर हमरे रे रमण बिहारी। हम है रमण बिहारी के ठाकुर हमरे रमण बिहारी। हम है रमण बिहारी के साधु सेवा धर्म हमारा। साधु सेवा धर्म हमारा। साधु सेवा धर्म हमारा। साधु सेवा धर्म हमारा। कामन दुनियादारी से। कामन दुनियादारी से। कामन दुनियादारी से। कामन दुनियादारी से।
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी। हम है रमण बिहारी की।
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी। हम है रमण बिहारी के
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी। हम है रमण बिहारी की।
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी। हम है रमण बिहारी के
साधु सेवा धर्म हमारा।
साधु सेवा धर्म हमारा।
साधु सेवा धर्म हमारा।
साधु सेवा धर्म हमारा।
कामन दुनियादारी से।
कामन दुनियादारी से।
कामन दुनियादारी से।
कामन दुनियादारी से।
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी। हम है रमण बिहारी के
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी। हम है रमण बिहारी के
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी। हम है रमण बिहारी के
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी। हम है रमण बिहारी के
ठाकुर हमारे रमण बिहारी। हम है रमण बिहारी के
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी। बरनउ रघुबर विमल जसु जो दायक फलचारी। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर। जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। राम दूत अतुलित बल धामा। अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी रघुमति निवार सुमति के संगी, कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा, हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे, कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे, शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन, विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर, प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया, सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा, भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज संवारे, लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए, रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई, सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे, सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा, जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते, तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा, तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर है सब जग जाना, जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्योताहि मधुर फल जानू, प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माही, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही, दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते, राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे, सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना, आपन तेज संहारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे, भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा, संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे, सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे, चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है, प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा, साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे, अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा, तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे, अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई, और देवता चित्तन धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई, संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा, जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई, जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई, जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा, तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजय नाथ हृदय महडेरा, पवन तनय संकट हरना, मंगल मूर्ति रूप, राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुर भूप, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय।
जय श्री कृष्ण।
सच्चिदानंदं वासुदेवं व्रजप्रियं धर्म संस्थापक।
Jai Shri Krishna. A very, very, very warm welcome to all of you on this beautiful evening, Savan evening. The environment is all lit with festivity and we are ready to welcome all the festivals in our home. But before that, With the blessing of Param Pujya Gurudev Swami Govind Dev Giriji Maharaj, we have set a foot on this divine journey of read Gita, teach Gita, and live Gita. This week, all of you got elevated to level 3, and all of you have started this journey with the 5th chapter of reading Gita. Some of you are serving, so you are in your ways teaching Gita. Today is the time to interpret this complex chapter, the 5th Adhyaya, Karmasanyasa Yoga, and to be able to live Gita. But before that, let us all start this session by offering it to the lotus feet of our Lord Shri Krishna with the opening prayer. For opening prayer, I am going to call our Janak Nandini Didi, who is from West Bengal. She joined Gita Pariwar in 2023, is a headmistress by profession, and in Gita Pariwar, she is giving her seva as GC. Janak Nandini Didi. Santosh Bhaiya, has Janak Nandini Didi
She
joined?
hasn't joined, Didi.
So I get this honor to do the opening prayer for all of you, my respected sadhas. Can we have everybody in prayer position? Let's join our hands. Let's just imagine Krishna in front of us and offer this opening prayer to Lord Krishna. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanur Devaki Paramanandam Krishna Vande Jagadgurum Shri Krishna Vande Jagadgurum. With Krishna in our heart, let's look for the light. This little guiding light of mine, I am going to let it shine. Let it shine all the time. Let it shine. For the divine Jyot Prajwalan, Deep Prajwalan, I am going to invite our very, very dear Suman Didi, who's from Hyderabad and has many, many, many hobbies. But most importantly, now she is focusing on learning Gita Ji. She is part of Gita Parivar since July of 2021, and for last 2 years, consistently has been giving seva as a GC. Presently, she is serving as a GC of L4 and of the kids batch. Suman Didi, please do the honors of lighting the deep.
Jai Shri Krishna, Didi.
निषिद्धैरप्येभिर्लुलितमकरन्दो मधुकरैः करैरिन्दोरन्तश्छुरित इव सम्भिन्नमुकुलः विधत्तां सिद्धिन्नो नयनसुभगामस्य सदसः प्रकीर्णः पुष्पाणां हरिचरणयोरञ्जलिरयम् शरदिन्दुनिभां शुभ्रवस्त्रैरलङ्कृतां कलहंसकृतावासां वरदां शारदां नुमः.
Thank you, Didi, for this beautiful, beautiful divine darshan that you gave us. And in this well-lit ambience, let us now bring all our focus on our 5th Adhyay. And who better to explain this complex chapter to us than our very own Vikas Vaidya Bhaiya. Vikas Bhaiya is a BE and PGDMA. He has been an NRI for more than 12 years, but he has carried India all through in his heart as he traveled the world. Now he owns his own IT company and is based in Pune. Bhaiya is a polyglot and speaks more than 5 languages. But the best language that Bhaiya speaks is when he gives examples to explain Gita Ji to us and to help us to bring it to our life. He has been a trainer for all levels and is involved in the trainers selection and training of the trainers of all levels of Gita Parivar. He also teaches Vishnu Sahasranam and is a very, very active Vivechak. I would like to now invite our Bhaiya to take the stage and to explain this very complex 5th Adhyay to us. Bhaiya.
Jai Shri Krishna. Vasudevasudan devam Kamsachanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Jai Shri Krishna to all. पूज्य स्वामी जी के चरण कमलों में कोटि कोटि नमन. Today we will start new adhyay, adhyay 5th, Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Last week we concluded 4th adhyay, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, and now this is Karma Sannyasa Yoga. There are 29 shlokas in this adhyay, relatively a short one. All the shlokas are in Anushtup Chanda. Speakers of the shloka, one shlok, the first one is by Arjuna, wherein he puts up a question to Lord Sri Krishna, and rest 28 shlokas are from Shri Krishna. Now, you must have heard this many times, that if one really wants to imbibe the essence of Gita in himself, then the listener has to be Arjuna. And the speaker has to be Lord Krishna. Then only it can be imbibed properly. This means that the essential virtues, essential attributes which Arjuna had should also be within us. If that happens, then it is possible that Arjuna's experience can also become our experience. But what about the orator, Lord Sri Krishna? No one can copy Lord Krishna. Krishna has the extraordinary special qualities of openness, depth, and being the epitome of truth. Likewise, Arjuna too had the unparalleled virtues of unconditional love for Krishna, surrender, samarpan, that means faith, and an intense desire to realize the truth. Now, before we start studying this adhyay, we should awaken within ourselves each and every one of these Arjuna's virtues.
तुम ये
And
वाला
only we
साड़ी
can
पहन लिया
understand
क्या?
this adhyay and
नहीं
in
पहनना,
general the
ब्लाउज.
entire Gita well. Now, coming back to 4th adhyay, in 4th adhyay, which we concluded last week, in shlok 33 to 37, Krishna praised the tradition of going to a guru for gaining the knowledge. In 34th shloka, Paramatma says, Tadvidya pranipatena pariprashtena sevaya upadekshante jnanai jnaninas tattva darshanaha. Just try to learn the ultimate truth by approaching a spiritual master, spiritual guru, inquire politely from him, and render services to him. The self-realized souls, that means those tattva darshana, they can impart knowledge to you because they have seen the ultimate truth. So this is the way suggested by Krishna in 34th shloka of 4th adhyay. As it is, we know Arjuna did not want to fight because he thought that by fighting he would incur sin, papa. So Arjuna conveniently thought that Krishna is asking him to renounce the karma and gain knowledge. So give up the war and gain the knowledge. This is what misunderstanding Arjuna had. Then Shri Krishna said in 38th shloka that he who is perfect in yoga, which yoga? Samatha yoga, he gains the knowledge in the self. That means the follower of karma yoga, samatha yoga, need not go to a teacher for gaining knowledge. Nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitrame vidyate tatsvayam yoga samsiddha. Tatsvayam yoga samsiddha kalenatmani vendati. So this is what Krishna said to Arjuna, that one can gain this knowledge, the ultimate truth within himself, if he follows the principles of yoga. Now Arjuna heard the praise of Karma Yoga in 38 to 41 shloka, but in 42nd shloka, Sri Krishna ordered Arjuna to perform his duty of fighting. In 42nd shloka, Paramatma says, Tasmad ajnana sambhutam hristai jnana sinatmanaha chitvainam savishayam yogam attishtotishta bharata. Uttishta, get up. Get up and start the war. Get up for starting the war. So Arjuna was thoroughly confused. Once you are praising the jnana, wisdom, another saying you are praising some karma, and that too, in the end you are saying, get ready for performing the ghastly karma of killing the people, entering into the war. So with all this, Arjuna had a lot of confusion in his mind. What exactly is to be done? Arjuna could not decide which one of these two disciplines are better, Jnana Yoga or Karma Yoga. Therefore, to get his doubt cleared from Shri Krishna, Arjuna puts up a question. Since this adhyaya deals with performing the karma without attachment, that means anasakta, and without expecting any return reward of the karma, that means Nishkam Karma Siddhi, it is called Karmasanyasa Yoga. With this little background, we will start reading the Adhyay. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā Atha Panchamo Adhyāyah. Arjuna Uvaca Sannyāsam Karmanam Krishna Punaryogaṃ ca Shanshasi Yachreya Etayorekan Tanme Bruhi Sunishchitam. Let us see what does it mean. As I said, Arjuna has put up a question. And in question, he says, Sannyasam, that means to renunciate, to give up. Karmanam, all the karmas. Punah, again. Yogam, yogam is the karma yoga here. Shamsasi, shamsasi is to praise something. Yata, yat means which. Shreya, shreya means which is beneficial, which is better. Shreya, etayo, of these two. Ekam, ekam is one. Tata, that, me, to me. Bruhi, bruhi means please tell. Sunishchitam, with certainty, definitely. So Arjuna says, O Krishna, first you praise the Karmasanyasa Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, and then you praise the glory of Nishkam Karma Yoga. Thus kindly tell me once and for all, which of the two is more beneficial? The Karmasanya, that means the Jnana Yoga or the Karma Yoga? And which of these two is in my interest? Now, before you go into details of this, let us know what exactly is Nishkam Karma Yoga. Actions, that means karmas, performed without the desire for fruits of action, that means karma phala, and which are motivated by the principles of truth, righteousness, non-violence, and love, is known as Nishkam Karma Yoga. And what is Karmasanyasa Yoga? Karmasanyas does not mean to renunciate the karma, not to give up the karma. Karmasanyas, one may misunderstand that Karmasanyas means don't do any work, just keep sitting only. So that is not Karmasanyas. It does not mean not performing any action. However, the Karmasanyas performs action. A Karmasanyasi, he does perform the action, karma, yet he is not the doer of actions. So Kartrutva Bhiman, the doership, he has relinquished that doership. For the one whose I is not linked to the mind and to the intellect, he does not perform actions, rather the actions happen through him. We had seen last time in 4th Adhyay, the example of Ravindranath Tagore, who said the Gitanjali just happened to me. I didn't write it. Somebody else could have written it. I'm thankful that the God chose me to write it. But I am not the creator. It just happened through me. So likewise, a Karmasanyasi, he does not have any link to his mind and intellect. Things just happen through him. Arjuna says he is confused and does not understand whether he should be following the path of Karmasanyas or the Nishkam Karma. Thus he asks Lord Krishna to clarify which path is best suited for him. Karmasanyas, that means Jnana Yoga, or the Karma Yoga. Now let us see what Lord Krishna replies to him in 2nd shloka. Shri Bhagavan Uvaca Sannyasa Karma Yogascha Nishreyasakara Vibhu Tayostu Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate. Now Lord Krishna is replying to Arjuna's question, saying that Sannyasa, that means renunciation of karma, Sankhya Yoga or Jnana Yoga, whatever you call it, Karma Yoga and Karma Yoga, Cha means also Nishreyasa Karo. Nishreyasa Karo, that means both lead to moksha, to liberation. Ubho means both. Tu means but. Tayo, out of the two. Karma Sannyasat, in comparison to Sankhya Yoga, that means renunciation of karma, in comparison to Karma Sannyas Yoga, Karma Yogo Vishishyate. Karma Yoga is superior. Paramatma says, when you compare the two, both lead you to the same destination. Not that you perform Karma Yoga and you lead somewhere else, and when you perform Karma Sannyas Yoga, you go somewhere else. That's not the case. Paramatma says, both will lead you to the same destination, moksha, liberation. But between the two, Paramatma says, Karma Yoga is superior to Karma Sannyas Yoga. Now let us see Karma Sannyas again. whatsoever actions that happen through the body, senses, or mind, removing the sense of doership from these is known as Karmasanyas. Whatever happens through your body, senses, and mind, you remove the sense of doership, then it becomes a Karmasanyas. I am not the body, I am not the senses, I am not the mind, and I am not the intellect. Mind thinks, and through the senses of perception, this gets translated into action via the physical body. And Karmasanyas involves seeing oneself as a distinct witness of the activities of mind, intellect, and senses and body. Knowing that I am neither the doer of actions nor the bearer of its consequences. I am merely a witness. Things are happening, I am merely a witness. This is Karmasanyas. I am just a detached witness of all the activities of mind, intellect, senses, and body. I neither motivate nor incite any action. I am neither the creator of actions nor am I the bearer of their fruits, karma phala. Whether the fruits are auspicious or inauspicious doesn't matter, but I am not the bearer of those fruits. Thus, this can happen only when I see myself as separate from body, senses, mind, and intellect. When I see my Swa, my Jivatma, my Atma as distinctly different than my mind, body, senses, and intellect, then only this kind of non-doership can happen. Only then one can see and can become a Karma Sannyasi. So to disassociate yourself from your body, senses, mind, and intellect is the first and foremost requirement of a Karma Sannyasi. Now, many of us may have doubt. How am I separate from the body? How can I be not doer of my actions, my karma? How can I be a detached witness only? There are many things which need deep understanding, and until this does not become clear to us, how can we become a Karma Sannyasi? If you don't know how to disassociate yourself from body, mind, intellect, and senses, how can you become Karma Sannyasi? So these fundamental things are to be clear to us first before we even talk of Karma Sannyas. Krishna says, following Nishkam Karma is superior to Karma Sannyas because it is easier to follow. Now, how it is simpler to follow? Let us understand this. How Karma Sannyas and Karma Yoga is easier to follow. Now, here comes the concept of Bhakti, the devotion. The Bhakta, the devotee, he says, this body, this mind, this intellect belongs to you. Oh Lord, all this belongs to you. All the actions, all karmas belong to you. I am a nobody. The devotee says like this. And as everything belongs to the Lord, the Bhakta, the devotee says, oh God, you operate this intellect, you beget the thoughts in this mind. I know only one thing. I am yours and you are mine. Bhakta has no other desire, no wants in his life. The devotee sees the Lord in all forms, in all beings. Thus, he has no enemies, for he sees Lord in one and all. And he cannot have enmity with the Lord, obviously, so he doesn't have any enemies. And Nishkam Karma is easy for one who has such sincere sentiments of devotion in him. See, when the body, mind, intellect is mine, the karma also becomes mine. But when these are not mine, then how can the karma be mine? You may say, what about the karma that happened before you become a devotee? The karma that emerged from ignorance, from egoism earlier, the Karma Sannyasi says, I will gladly accept the fruits of those karmas. Be it happiness or suffering, I have no complaints about it and accepting whatever you give me, O Lord. Now, what is a devotee? What is a bhakta? The one who has become choiceless is a devotee. A devotee has no choice. Whatever Paramatma gives, he accepts it without complaint. Good or bad, auspicious, inauspicious, favorable, unfavorable, he accepts everything in equanimity. That is a devotee. He has no choice. He is a choiceless. Accept whatever the God gives without complaint. Your external attire, that means putting a tilak here or dressing in a bhagwa vastra, that does not make you a devotee. karma intended for the Lord and offered to the Lord is Nishkam Karma. The one who is thus freed from his I-ness, he is free from this I-ness, he will be the non-doer of actions, and the actions will simply happen through him. This Nishkam Karma Yoga can become simpler than Karmasanyas. We have to delete this I from our mind and our thoughts. You see, you keep saying, I came to Guru, I came to his Vivechan, I am studying Geeta, I am studying Vishnu Sahasranam, I am attending this discourse. The devotee says, see the difference in language of devotee and a normal person. The devotee says, oh God, my Lord, you brought me to the Guru. You brought me to this Vivechana. You admitted me in the Geeta class of Geeta Pariwar. The devotee is always in the state of gratitude for the opportunities given to him by the Lord. He never says, I came, I did this, and such things. So he never says all such things. And the truth is that for a devotee who is completely absorbed in the devotion into the divine, there is uprising of inauspicious thought. Can it happen? It can never happen. When he is in total devotion, there is no uprising of any inauspicious thought or sentiment in his mind. And neither is there any possibility of any inauspicious action occurring through him. That means one who says that God made him to do some inauspicious thing, he simply is not a devotee. No devotee will ever say that God made me to do some inauspicious things. That means he is not a devotee. He has not become a devotee so far. He has still a distance to travel. Rather, if some inauspicious act were to happen through a devotee, he says it was his inauspicious samskaras of either the past life or this life, which broke his cord with the Paramatma, with the divine, and deluded his intellect, and that propelled this inauspicious action happening by him. So he doesn't blame the God that God made me to do this inauspicious thing. He says, it is a result of my old bad samskars. What can Paramatma do in this? I acted according to my samskars and did this blunder. Karmasanyas is difficult in comparison to Nishkam Karma. But even Nishkam Karma is difficult for those who are egoistic. An egoistic person can at the most do Sakam Karma, the karma wherein you expect return and reward. It is difficult to loosen the grip of the Sakam Karma from our mind because that has become our style of doing karma for several years, since our birth, since our childhood. I will do this, but what will I get by doing this? This is the first thought that comes to our mind before we take up any karma in our hand. But the one who does manage to get freed from the clutches, he can enter the world of Nishkam Karma with relative ease. That's why Nishkam Karma Yoga is said to be simpler as compared to Karmasanyasa Yoga. Okay, we go to third shloka now. Niyasya nitya sannyasi yo na dveshti na kankshati nirdvandvo hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Niya. Niya means something that should be known. Saha means pronoun in Sanskrit. He, nitya. Nitya is always. Sannyasi, the one who has renounced everything. Sannyasi. Ya. Ya means another pronoun in Sanskrit. Who, na, never. Dveshti. Dveshti is to hate, to abhor. Na is never. Kankshati. Kankshati is to desire. Nirdvandvo, from the duality of thoughts. What is duality of thoughts? We have discussed it, but we will discuss it again today. Mahabaho. Mahabaho is called for Arjuna, person with strong arms. Sukham, happiness, happily. Bandhat, bandhat is bondage. And pramuchyate is completely freed, liberated. Pramuchyate. So the one who has neither any attachment nor any desire, neither any aversion or any hatred for anyone, such a Nishkam Karma Yogi should be known as perennial sannyasi. That means there is no difference between a sannyasi and karma yogi. A Nishkam Karma yogi who has no attachment or no desire, he has no aversion or hatred for anyone, then such a Nishkam Karma yogi should be known as a perennial Nitya Sannyasi. He is a perennial sannyasi. For such a person who is freed from all dualities, is easily liberated from bondage of this material world. Now, where do we stand? If there is attachment or aversion in your mind, it means your mind is gripped by the pair of opposites, duality. And thus, you lead to the bondage. Then how can your life be joyous when your mind is filled with duality? How can your life be joyous? Someone tells you that so and so was speaking ill about you, and your knee-jerk reaction is anger, aversion, vengeance. This means you are stuck. Likewise, when someone tells you that so and so was praising you, your mind swells up with pride. Now this too will bind you. On the contrary, when you praise or criticize a Karmasanyasi, it makes no difference to him at all, none whatsoever. He accepts all criticism unflinchingly and deflects all the appreciation, praise mounted on him, saying that it is to that person's credit that he is thinking so highly about me. It is not my credit. It goes to the credit of that person who is thinking so highly about me. Let us see another example. When Shri Ram was considering an attack on Sri Lanka, the question arose as to how the ocean would be crossed. Someone suggested a bridge be constructed, and the preparations began. However, Shri Ram said, in order to complete the work unhindered, let us perform puja and havan. For this, we require a Brahmin, a priest. So go and look for a Brahman, a priest. As we know, they came to know that there was no Brahmin in the nearby area who is accomplished and as knowledgeable as Ravana. So there was no other option, no devotee of Lord Shiva greater than Ravana. Then Shri Ram said, go and give him my message that I, Rama, in order to defeat King Ravana, wish to have a Shiva puja performed. Before the war begins, I invite Brahman Ravana to conduct the yajna and puja. See the irony. Shri Ramji is inviting Ravana to kill Ravana, but the both roles of Ravana are different. Now, see, the one who is to be defeated, the one who is to be killed, that person is the Brahman, that King Ravana, and he himself is invited to conduct the ceremonies. That is why we call it Ram Leela. Accepting the invitation, Ravana dressed like a Brahmana, performed a yajna, puja, as per Shri Rama's instructions, and at the time of giving the prasadam, Ravana said to Shri Rama, all your wishes be fulfilled. Even at our home, when the puja, Brahmana comes for performing the puja, when he gives us prasad, he says the same way. So Ravana said to Shri Ram, all your wishes be fulfilled. Thus Shri Ram's life is called Ram Leela. In truth, no one is good and no one is bad. Shri Rama is playing a role and Ravana too is playing a role. The message to us is, those whom we consider as Ravana in our lives are not really all bad. In the same way, those who consider themselves as Shri Ram, they too are not really so. This is so deeply rooted in Karmasanyasi that he can never be put in bondage again. He is liberated in this very lifetime. He does not have to wait for moksha liberation to happen after death. When he is living, he can get the moksha, the salvation. Okay, we go to fourth sloka now. Sankhyogo pratagbalah pravadanti na panditaha ekamapyastita samyak uvayor vindate phalam. Now here, Paramatma says that Sankhya Yoga, that means the Sankhya Yoga, Nishkam Karma, Karmasanyasa and Nishkam Karma Yoga, Prathak means different. Bala is means person who is having less understanding, less intellect. Bala Buddhi, that Bala. Pravadanti is to say. No is not, never. Pandita is wise, learned person. Ekam is one. Api means even then. Asthita being situated. Samyak very well, completely. Ubhayo is both. Vindate is to enjoy. So Paramatma says only fools, Bala, only fools regard the above mentioned Karmasanyasa Yoga and Nishkam Karma Yoga as distinct and leading to different consequences, different destinations. Sankhya Yoga Pratak Bala Pravadantina Panditaha na Panditaha Ekamapyasya Samyak Vayor Vindate Phalam. The Pandit, wise people who is firmly established even in one. That means either in Karmasanyasa Yoga or Nishkam Karma Yoga, he attains the fruits of both by following that path. That means he attains his destination. In other words, he attains the Lord. Even if he trades on the path of Nishkam Karma Yoga or he trades on the path of Karmasanyas, by following any of the two paths, he attains the same destination, that means attaining the Paramatma. Shri Krishna says that Karma Sannyasi and Nishkam Karma Yogi are in reality, in essence, not different. The devotee says that everything belongs to God, nothing is mine. This is what the devotee says. And the Jnani says that everything is me. There is no one other than me. Thus, essentially, both are saying the same thing. Here, me means Paramatma, not me means that person, but me means that Paramatma. The Jnani says that everything is Paramatma and there is no one other than Paramatma. While the devotee says everything belongs to the Paramatma. So, essentially, both are saying the same thing, no? The Jnani says, I am neither body nor senses, neither the mind nor the intellect. I am the detached witness. All pervasive Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi. That is the thinking of a Jnani. So from Jnani's point of view, the very foundation of mind, intellect, the very foundation of this universe is the Supreme Chaitanya, Parabrahma, which is neither the doer nor the experiencer. Because it is way, way, way beyond the mind and intellect. The Bhakta, the devotee, he says everything and everyone belongs to the God, to the Paramatma, to the Lord. Thus, all that happens is God's divine play. Be it suffering or happiness, it is all just a game and we're enjoying the divine play by playing our given roles. This is what the devotee says. So neither Bhakta has any grievances, nor does any Jnani has any complaints. Thus, irrespective of the path, whether it is Karma Sannyas or Nishkam Karma Yoga, at the core, there is no difference in a Karma Sannyasi or a Nishkam Karma Yogi. But in our case, our mind and intellect gets polluted due to desires. Desires. Desire is a never-ending list. The mind is an endless series of desires. Little desires, making thousands of them. I want this dress, for that, I want that car, I want that food item, I want that price, I want this place. When all put together, they mount to a large sum of desires, draining our vital capacity to meditate and love the God. Because our mind space is all occupied in fulfillment of our desires, our kamanas. As I always say, kamana is like that box of tissues on our dining table. You pull out one tissue, another will come, pull second, third will come, never ending. So can we make a small beginning? banks in small villages still advertise saying that it all adds up. A few pennies here and a few pennies there, it all adds up. This is what the banks advertise in small villages even now. The bank employee, he goes door to door and collects small amounts to encourage poor villagers to get into the habit of saving and depositing in their accounts. In meditation, it is the same. When the Lord comes, we can say like poor villager, we are not great mystic, we are not yogis, but a few times today, we have tried to be patient. A few times today, we have resisted some little craving for personal satisfaction, sense gratification. Sometimes, yes, we have done it. And the Lord will say, no problem. Give me that tiny sum of few coins you have saved today. Whatever tiny good sattvic karma you have done today, you have avoided sense gratification, give it to me today. I will put all that in your deposit. This is how we are going to lead the spiritual life for a long term. It is mostly in coins, small karmas. But in these innumerable little acts of selflessness lies the spiritual growth. So never consider that I am a good for nobody person. I do only little thing here and there. That little things, it will mount to a huge thing which will lead you on the path of spiritual growth, which covers over a period of long time, can transform every one of us into a loving and spiritual person. So beginning is always in a small way, but that small way will lead you to a large highway of spiritual growth, spiritual path. When we meditate on an inspirational passage, repeating it every day in the depths of our consciousness, we will find that it releases our inner resources of spiritual wisdom. For example, when we meditate on the prayer, saying that it is in giving that we receive. आप देंगे तो आपको मिलेगा. If you firmly believe in this prayer, it is in the giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we get pardoned. We will find that in our daily relationship, we are not getting angry anymore. If you keep meditating on these two thoughts, you will find that after a few days, we are not getting angry anymore, that we are beginning to forgive and forget. That has become our nature. We don't keep anything in mind. Forgive and forget. That becomes our nature. This transformation of character, conduct, and consciousness starts coming to us naturally from the power of meditation. Okay, let's go to next shloka now, shlok 5th. Yat sankhe prapyate sthanam tadyogairipi gamyate ekam sankhenja yogenja yah pashyati sa pashyati. Paramatma says, yat sankhe, by Sankhya Yogi, prapyate is achieved, sthanam is the place, the destination, tat, that, yogai, by that Nishkam Karma Yogi, api is also gamyate, one can attain, ekam is one, sankhyam, that Karmasanyasa Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, yogam, Nishkam Karma Yoga, yah, one who pashyati is to see, yah sa pashyati, sa means see, pashyati means sees. What does it all mean? Yat sankhya prapate sthanam tadyogairipi gammate ekam sankhenji yogancha yah pashyati sa pashyati. That supreme place, that supreme state of being, which is attained by Jnanis, Karmasanyasis, is the same which is also attained by the Nishkam Karma Yogis. Yat Sankhya Prapati Sthanam Tadyavirigam Ekam Sankhenji Yogenja. Thus, one who sees this oneness in the fruit of Jnana Yoga and Nishkam Karma Yoga, he alone sees the reality as it really is. Yah pashyati sa pashyati. Jisne ye dekha, usne sahi dekha. One who sees that Nishkam Karma Yoga and Karmasanyasa Yoga both lead to the same destination, one who understands this, he has understood everything. So here, the supreme place does not refer to any place like Swarga or heaven. Rather, it refers to the state of Nirvikalpa Samadhi within yourself. That state of being which cannot be even remotely be touched by the mind or its samskars. That Nirvikalpa Samadhi which is devoid of any desires, kamanas. When you attain that stage, you have attained, you have understood the reality of life. And this state is attained not after death, but in this very lifetime, whether you follow the principles of either Nishkam Karma Yoga or the Karmasanyasa Yoga. All good karmas, the doers of all good karmas, they believe that they will surely go to the heaven after the death. All Satya Karma people, they believe that I have done something good, so definitely I will attain Swarga. And those doing evil karmas will surely go to the hell. This is also the Satya people say that if you do bad thing, you will go to the hell. I am doing good thing, I will go to the Swarga, heaven. Every religious scripture has the graphic description of heaven and hell. We have seen in the old editions of Kalyan magazine what is Swarga and what is Narka. And they paint such drastic and draconian picture of hell that one who reads that hair-raising description of the Narak, the hell, at least for some time, he keeps away from any Papa Karma. Such is the effect of reading those articles of hell when he sees people are getting fried in hot oil and all sorts of things. You may be remembering all those Kalyan magazine description of Nark, Papa, Nark Loka, the hell. But such is the attraction of this phenomena, this phenomenal world, the material world, that fear of the hell gets washed out over a period of time. And we go back to the same of committing Papa Karma. Despite knowing all ethics, all ethical practices, people again fall back into leading unethical life. That is the attraction of material world. Thus, if you ask any criminal, any murderer, that why the prospect of going to hell does not deter you from carrying out such Papa Karma. Why do you do Papa? You know you will go to hell. He will retort back to you and saying that, how do you know there is a hell? Have you seen? This is all imaginary, created by the priest. There is no hell. People try to balance their unmeritorious act by performing some meritorious act. Use some Papa Karma to counter it, you will do some Punya Karma. And they think that everything is balanced now, I'm okay. They think that this will balance the balance sheet of their karmas. And this is why it is often seen that more corrupt one is, the more money he gives away in the charity. He will build temple, he will help with donations and all that. The more Papa Karma he does, the more donations he will make. The more deceitful the unscrupulous one is, the more he worships demigods and more pilgrimages, yatras he does. That means they want to deceive the God too. Those people, they live a dual life. On one hand, they keep on committing unethical, evil acts. And on the other hand, they do a few righteous things, thinking that this will nullify their negative karmas. We see a huge gathering each time in Kumbh Mela, and everyone wants to take a dip in the holy Ganga to wash their sins. Many people, they never miss any Kumbh Mela. Seeing this, once a sage remarked teasingly, "Oh, so you have already managed to accrue a bundle of sins since the last Kumbh Mela? You keep coming every Kumbh Mela, take a dip in Ganga, saying that now your sins are washed out. That means after every Kumbh Mela, you go back and commit sinful act again and come back again in the next Kumbh Mela to take a dip to wash up your sins. That means during the interim period, you managed to accrue a lot of sinful acts." We think we will get protection from the consequences of unmeritorious act and therefore keep purchasing religious insurance by donating money to charity. We think that we are buying insurance by donating money for charity, by going on pilgrimages, or by doing some mantra chanting. Sant Kabir once openly put a question to someone. You have made money by exploiting the needy, the poor, and then you build a temple using that same blood-tainted money. Should I regard this as meritorious act or unmeritorious act? So this one has to do soul searching, thinking that if I have done some good work, is it to counter my bad work? food for thought. Okay, let's go to 6th sloka now. Sanyasastu mahabaho dukhamaptuma yogataha yoga yukto manirbrahma nachirena digacchati. We'll not go to the word meaning. Time is short, so we'll go through the meaning of this shloka. Paramatma says, however, Lord says, without Nishkam Karma Yoga, it is difficult to attain renunciation, sannyas. Renunciation of doership, that means from all actions happening through the body, the senses, the mind. The Nishkam Karma Yogi, though, is continually absorbed in remembrance of the Supreme Divinity, and thus he attains the Parabrahma swiftly. Now, what does it all mean? Sanyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptama yogataha yoga yukta munir brahma nachirena digacchati. They say it is as difficult for a person to perform actions without any motivation, without any desire, as it is for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle. Can the camel pass through the eye of a needle? No. So can a person perform karma without any desire? Generally, no. So human beings are so selfish that the remembrance of God is also done with the selfish motive of attaining Swarga or some bliss from Paramatma. Why do you remember God? Why do you remember God? Because you seek bliss. Why do you meditate? Because you want to attain Samadhi. None of the actions is prompted without an underlying desire. Sri Krishna is explaining the real meaning of sannyas. Paramatma says, and this sannyas attainable even to householders. The sannyas which Paramatma is explaining, Lord Krishna is explaining, is attainable to even to the householders. Everyone cannot renounce their homes, their families, and it is not necessary either to relinquish the family and the place where you are living. One can become a sannyasi by renouncing the sense of doership. Live in the same place where you are living with your family, friends, society, everything. Leave the sense of doership. You are taken a sannyas. No need to leave your place and stay in a cave or in a temple in Haridwar or some Rishikesh. By renouncing the identity linked with the body, senses, mind and intellect and becoming merely a witness of all actions occurring through the body and activities of mind and intellect, you can become a sannyasi when you remove the doership thought from your mind. How to do it? How does Karmasanyasi does it? It is natural for eyes to see colors, isn't it? Natural. Eyes are meant for seeing, so it is natural for eyes to see the colors and forms. Suppose you see a pink towel lying on in front of you. A pink colored towel is lying in front of you. It is natural for your eyes to see that yes, a pink colored towel is lying in front of me. However, the seeing happens only for a very brief moment. You just glance and you see that towel lying there. The mind then takes over immediately from the eyes for making its commentary. Mind has a habit of making commentary on everything that the eyes see or the ears hear. The mind will start making commentary. I like this towel. Or I don't like this towel. Some commentary. I need to buy one such towel for myself. Or I forgot to bring my towel. It is my wife's fault. I forgot the towel. These days, she never cares about me. Would I have married somebody else? The mind is crazy. It can go to anything. I got so many offers from so many girls. I picked up, I chose this girl. Maybe I could have chosen another girl. And so on and so forth. So all these thoughts keep coming on your coming to your mind. And more than mind taking over, you become the mind. You become the mind. And you start the commentary. Now this is unnatural. You should disassociate yourself from mind. Mind may think anything, but you disassociate yourself from the mind. I'm not the person who is thinking this. The mind may think anything that comes. I want to disassociate myself from the thoughts coming to my mind. I'm disassociating myself from the actions that are happening through my body. I'm disassociating myself from the thoughts that are coming to my intellect. So I'm disassociating myself from my body, mind, intellect. That is what the Karmasanyasi does. In Karmasanyas, on the eyes Nishkam Karma, a normal person does like this. Eyes will see and immediately the mind will start making commentary. This is in case of people like us who are normal human beings. But in case of Karmasanyasi, what happens is, take the same example. He sees the same pink towel. His eyes are also for seeing the color and form like ours. You are aware of the process of senses and sense objects instilled in us by the Prakriti. Eyes are meant for seeing all that we have discussed. But when Karmasanyasi sees a pink or green or whatever towel lying there is no commentary associated with it in his mind. Eyes have seen, full stop. Mind doesn't make any commentary. I like this, I don't like this, my wife like that. No, blah, blah thoughts. So no labeling of good or bad by the mind, no likes or dislikes, or no formation of chain of thoughts in the mind. Once you disassociate yourself from mind, then all this can happen. Eyes are doing their work of seeing, let them see. Mind is not involved in that. So mind should not start making commentary. And that is what the Karmasanyasi does. In our case, becoming one with the mind and then either becoming happy or unhappy, elated or depressed, all this happening is unnatural. It is not expected by Lord that you see something and you become happy or unhappy. The eyes are doing the job of seeing why the mind gets happy or unhappy. Karmasanyas is a detached witness of the body, mind and intellect. Do this small experiment today, if you can do. Whatever your eyes see the seeing of eyes. See the seeing of eyes, what your eyes are seeing. Be aware that the eyes are seeing and you are distancing yourself from the eyes. It is not you who sees, rather it is the eyes that they are seeing. Likewise, become a witness and know that I am not the listener, I am not the tester, I am not the perceiver. It is the ears that hear, it is the tongue that tests, or the skin that perceives. Training your eye into doing all this is Karmasanyasa Yoga. Training your eye to disassociate it from your mind, intellect, everything is Karmasanyasa Yoga, and indeed extremely difficult to attain and master, obviously. Not easy. It is easy to say disassociate, but it needs tremendous amount of practice to disassociate yourself from your mind, body, intellect. Body, yes, you can do sometimes, but to disassociate yourself from your mind is very difficult. Hence, Shri Krishna says that in comparison, Nishkam Karma Yoga is easier. Thus, with every action happening through the body, mind or intellect, have the sentiment that I am nothing, nothing is mine. It is your alone, Lord, everything belongs to you. The Jnana Yoga, that means Sankhya Yoga, you have developed awareness. See, awareness is needed even in Nishkam Karma Yoga. But that awareness level is not that deep and difficult to experience, which is required in a Karma Sannyas or a Jnana Yoga. So this is why Paramatma says that Nishkam Karma Yoga is easier to follow as compared to Karma Sannyas or a Jnana Yoga. 7th sloka. Yoga yukto vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriyaha sarvabhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate. Now Paramatma says the one who is in control of his body, who has subjugated, restrained, controlled his senses. Jitendriya, whose antakarana is pure, who realizes his self as supreme self and seeing this self in all beings. Mamai Moshuji Goloke Paramatma says, though this person also sees every fragment, every living entity as a fragment of Paramatma. Such a Nishkam Karma Yogi, despite performing actions, is not bounded by them. This is what this shloka says. Now, subjugated senses and controlled body. This is the basic prerequisite condition for bringing the spiritual evolution in you. You should be able to control, restrain your senses and your body. Now, let us face some tough questions. Are you a master or enslaved to your body? Do you control your senses or your senses control you? We can find it right now. Right now. Straighten your spine and sit in Vajrasana or Padmasana or even Sukhasana, whatever. And once you are settled for next 10 minutes, don't allow your body to make any movements. You will see that most of us are unable to do this. Either the shoulder or the neck or the limbs get stressed out, become numb, and you want to make movements to make them relaxed. Body and mind start quick communication on what is getting numb. That means you cannot control your body even for a few minutes. And Sri Krishna says that one who is in control of his body and senses, he alone can successfully perform Nishkam Karma Yoga. And now we know where we stand against this barometer of requirement from Krishna. Are we in control of our body? Who dictates to eat? Who tells us to eat? Is it your tongue, your stomach, or your mind? Who dictates you to eat? The fact is that you eat when your mind tells you to eat. So once the clock strikes, say 1 o'clock, 1 p.m., your mind tells you that it is time to eat, irrespective of whether you are hungry or not. You see the clock, oh, 1 o'clock, I should have my lunch. You eat not for the body, but you eat for the mind. That is why we have a practice of observing total fast for 1 day. Does the mind protest? Do the senses rebel? Will your patience remain the steadfast? Or you will surrender to the demands of your body and senses and mind? See, this is the basis of observing the fast and not accrue any merits from performing the fast. You command your body, senses, mind that yes, for 1 day in a week, they will not get any food. I have control over my body, senses, mind. I have decided my body will not get food for 1 week, 1 day in a week. Disciplined body, subjugated senses, and the third condition Paramatma says is purified antakaran. What is antakaran? The unit of mind, intellect, subconscious, and aham. Aham means I. Not the pride, ego, but aham means I. This is called antakaran. Mind, intellect, subconscious, and aham. This constitutes our antakaran. See, it is relatively easy to regard yourself as being separate from the body and even from senses by good practice. But it is very difficult, as I said, to seeing yourself as anything other than mind and intellect. That is why one needs to have pure antakaran. So what is pure antakaran? No anger, no attachment, no aversion, no pride, no egoism. This is purified antakaran. And there are ways to attain this purity in the antakaran. First of all, be conscious, be aware that I am nothing. Every time your ego raises its head, assertively use the sword of knowledge and chop off the head of that thought immediately. Turn down the praise politely. Don't accept the praise, turn down the praise politely. Shri Krishna says, the words of wisdom are meant for leading a balanced life. Shri Krishna's words of wisdom, what he has said in all these shlokas, they are meant for leading a balanced life. And they are intended for every human being. It is not that Geeta is relevant only to Hindus alone. It is for the entire human race, for the all human beings. It is meant for all people. Ultimately, every human being, irrespective of his religion and faith, has mind. Yes. Hindus, Muslims, Sikh, Isai, everybody has mind. Yes. Everybody has body. Yes. Everybody has senses. Yes. Everybody has intellect. Yes. So Geeta is teaching you to create harmony between them. There is a question of any religion in this. Everyone has this. People from all races have this, no? So Geeta is not meant only for Hindus. It is for the entire humanity. Let us go to Shlok 8 and 9 together. They are interconnected. Pralapan visru naiva kinchit karomiti yukto Anyeta tatvavit Pashyan Shrunvan Sprushan Jigran Nashnan Gachan Swapai Shwasan Pralapan Visrujan Grundan Nanmishan Nimishan Napi Indriyani Indriyartheshu Vartanta Iti Dharayan. Now in these two slokas, Paramahansa has explained that whatever small things body does, it does it without your permission, without your wanting, without your knowledge also sometimes. The Jnani, the knower of truth, does nothing in spite of doing everything. That means seeing, hearing, smelling, eating, moving, sleeping, breathing, speaking, disposing the body waste, holding or grasping, opening and closing of eyelids. This is because the Jnani knows that it is the senses which engage in all these activities, and that he is not the senses, that he is separate from the senses. Thus, he does not do anything despite seemingly to be doing everything. You may think I am doing everything, but the senses are doing on their own accord. You are not doing it. If you are doing it, can you hold your breath for more than 2 minutes? Third minute, probably will not be remaining to take next breath at all. So we have no control. Opening and closing of eyelids. Can we control it? It happens on its own accord. These actions of body, senses happen on their own accord. We are not the doer. The Jnani knows that the senses are doing their own job and that he is only a witness. The eyes see, the ears hear, the tongue tastes, and so on and so forth. What have I done in all this? Nothing. What do you have to do for opening and closing of eyelids? Nothing. When you wake up in the morning, the eyes open on their own accord. Here you wake up and your eyes open. You don't have to do anything for opening your eyes. They open on their own accord, isn't it? The eyelids blink on their own accord. Do you have any control over it? Do you blink or blinking occur autonomously? It happens on its own accord, no? Do you know how many times your eyes have blinked since this morning? You have no count of that. Who says the body is yours? The body does not belong to you. You have been bestowed upon this body, which is but a tool that carries you forward towards on the path of your journey. Now, which journey to take is up to you. Whether you take a path of spiritual journey or whether you take a path of self-destruction. It is up to you. But the body is given to you to travel on this path of. Take a journey. If someone asks to inhale and hold your breath inside, how long will you be able to do so? You can try it now. Hold your breath. You can realize that within a few seconds or hardly a minute, breath comes out from your nose because you cannot retain breath in your lungs any longer. It is another matter that with some practice of pranayam, this period can be extended, can be increased. This stopping, holding a breath is known as kumbhak, as we know from pranayama. But in short, all these activities, pralapan, visunan, grundan, nanmishan, nemishan, and all that, what we discussed in these two slokas, we have no control over this. And in pranayam, we count in the proportion of 1, 4, 2. 1 count when you inhale, 4 is the kumbhak when you hold the breath, and 2 when you exhale. Inhalation, kumbhak, and exhalation. Okay, now coming back to the shloka, the Jnani who has experienced the higher truth, he knows that despite that he is separate from the senses. The senses engage in their respective activities, be it seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving, all sorts of things what we have read. Thus, when all this is happening through the senses, why do you link I to all these activities? I eat, I smell, I breathe. Where does I come? When all this is happening by the senses and the body, why do you bring this I in between? So the first thing is to separate this I from the body and the senses. And then let the senses carry on with their task, their function, their activities. And you simply witness all their activities as a third person. You don't have to do anything. Why do you live under a burden of the doer of what you are not doing? When you are not doing, why do you say I am doing it and take the burden of doing it? The Lord says that know this veritable truth that I am not the doer of anything. Things are happening and I am just a witness. I am neither the body, nor the senses, nor the intellect. I am eternal, supreme Brahma. My Jivatma is a fragment of Brahma, Parabrahma, and I am that. I am not body, I am not mind, I am not senses. In effect, Lord Krishna is thus describing the path of Karmasanyasi, wherein you retract the sense of I-ness from the body, senses, mind, and intellect. And once you do this, then you are the non-doer, the detached witness of all that is happening through your body, senses, mind, and intellect. Thus, eradicate the ignorance which has deluded your mind that I am the doer. Remove it from your mind, Paramatma says. Okay, we go to 10th sloka quickly. Brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha lipyatena sa papena padma patramivambhasa. Now, one example is given here. Paramatma says, he who performs actions without attachment, offering them to Parabrahma, is not tainted by the sin, just as the lotus leaf remains untouched by the drops of water on it. You pour a lot of water on a lotus leaf, nothing gets clinging to it. Everything goes off. So doing nothing despite doing everything. This is the wonderful meaning of the shloka, that one who performs actions without attachment, offering them to the Parabrahma, is not tainted by sin. He does everything, but he doesn't get tainted. That means nothing, doing nothing, despite doing everything. This shloka further explains the Nishkam Karma Yoga, offering all actions into divine and carrying out all actions with the sentiments that this body, this mind, this intellect belongs to the Lord and not to me. And thus, he remains unaffected by the actions, just as the lotus flower that remains untouched by the water lying on its petals. There seems to be a space between the drop and the petal. So likewise, this person, he does everything without attachment, offers everything to Parabrahma, and then he doesn't get bonded, entangled because of his karma, like the lotus leaf. The water doesn't get cling to the lotus leaf. Thus, the Nishkam Karma Yogi surrenders himself and all his actions to the Lord. And furthermore, he relinquishes all attachments. So no need to leave your family and renounce this world. Just leave their attachment. Krishna was, as I said, the greatest example of leaving the attachment. He lived in all the places, but he never had any attachment. When he left Vrindavan, he never went back to meet even his foster mother and father, Yashoda and Nanda. He did not even go back to meet Radha. He did not go back to meet his Gopikas and his shepherd friends. Once he gives up, gives up. When he is there, full attachment. But attachment only outward. Internally, no attachment. This is the lesson from Krishna's life, which we all need to learn. But we do exactly the opposite. We leave the homes when we want to take sannyas, for example. People who they leave their homes, their families, but attachment does not leave them. Moreover, this attachment can get awakened at any moment, and then when it does, the moment the attachment gets awakened in that so-called sannyasi, the so-called seeker, he runs back to those very people he had earlier renounced. Oh, मुझे बहुत याद आ रहा है घर का, मैं जा रहा हूँ घर पे अभी. So incredibly amazing are the ways of our mind, isn't it? Sometimes you feel running away from the family, and the attachment pull you back again there. Okay, we go to next shloka now. 11. कायेन मनसा बुद्ध्या केवलैरिन्द्रियैरपि योगिनः कर्म कुर्वन्ति संगं त्यक्त्वात्मशुद्धये. Wonderful shloka this is. The Nishkam Karma Yogi, having relinquished the attachment, he performs actions through his body, senses, mind, intellect. Yes, like normal human beings. But these actions are done by him, not for any sense gratification or not for getting any return reward. These are done only for purification of Antakaran, Atma Shuddhaye. Atma Shuddhaye. So the Nishkam Karma Yogi severes all the ropes of attachment to his body, senses, mind, and intellect. And thus, by performing actions without any desire for the return reward fruits, he keeps on purifying his antakaran. And this is what seva entails. This is the real meaning of service, seva. Thus, don't be under the misunderstanding that by offering seva to your guru, you are doing any favors to your guru. Does the guru need your services, your seva? And if a guru were to dependent on others to serve him, then in effect, they would become his guru, because guru is depending on them. So they would become his guru. Even if you are sweeping the floor, if it is done without expecting any appreciation from others, then this very act will aid the purification of your mind. You are entering the building, you are helping an old man who is not able to open the door of the lift. To open the door, he gets in, you ask him which floor you are going, he says 6th floor, you press the button. But with the moment you expect any smile back from him or any thanks from him, you are spoiling the chance that Paramatma has given to you for performing a Nishkam Karma Yoga. You do your work and forget about it. Don't expect anything in return, and you have become a Nishkam Karma Yogi, at least for that moment. The moment you expect anything return from him, you have become a Sakam Karmi. So day in and out, Paramatma gives us opportunities in abundance to perform Nishkam Karma Yoga. We are the fools who do not understand that Paramatma has given us this opportunity, and we keep expecting from every small bit of work that we do. And we spoil our chance of performing a Nishkam Karma Yoga. We become a normal human being who is performing a Sakam Karma. So Krishna and Arjuna, both were householders, isn't it? The difference is that Arjuna is trapped in bondage of attachment. But Krishna, on the other hand, he lives in sheer freedom and leads his entire life joyously, regarding it as a Leela. Yes, whatever comes, whatever it happens, it is a Leela. And through Geeta, Shri Krishna is trying to eliminate this difference between him and Arjuna. Arjuna, look at me. Look at me. Try to live like me. And like Arjuna is telling us also, look at me. Try to live like me. No attachment. He's trying to make Arjuna understand, and all of us in the process, and thus say that perform your actions through body, through mind, through senses, perform their activities, but at all times be free from attachment and harbor no desire for the fruits of your actions. We go to the next sloka, 12th. Yukta karma phalam tyakva shantima apnoti neshtikim ayukta kama karena phale sakto nibadhyate. Now here Paramatma says that Nishkam Karma Yogi, having offered all the fruits of actions, that means all karma phalas, to the Parabrahma, to the Lord, he attains supreme peace. Shanti mapnoti naishtikim. While the Sakam karma doing person, the Sakami person, on the other hand, who is attached to the fruits of actions, who is attached to the karma phala, is bound to the fruits of actions. That is why Nishkam Karma Yogi is superior than the Sakam Karma Yogi, obviously. So the Lord says, perform your actions correctly and with accuracy and with excellence. If you cook, cook skillfully. If you serve the food, serve it affectionately. Run the household perfectly well. Whatsoever you do it to the best of your ability with love and focus. Don't live unaesthetically. It is your duty to keep your body clean, healthy, and robust. Keep your homes clean and fresh every day. And not only on some Diwali or Dashara day, every day. Smile every day. Don't reserve your smiles only for some special occasions or for some special people. Smile every day. Apply the principles of Nishkam Karma Yoga in your day-to-day life. As we discussed, Paramatma gives enough opportunities every day to perform Nishkam Karma Yoga. This will ensure that your life is full of spring of joy when you become a Nishkam Karma Yogi. Why keep expecting praise from anybody? See, if you perform your actions honestly, then the fact is that people will start loving you, isn't it? Even if they don't want, even then they will start loving you. your aura will become irresistibly attractive to others, that they will get magnetically attracted towards you and they will behave very courteously with you. They will show enough courtesy for you. Now, some people may still talk of you, talk ill about you. You can't control everybody. So some people may still talk ill about you, but how does it matter? Because you have already relinquished the desire for the fruits of your action. You already relinquished that. So how does it matter if somebody talks ill about you? See, Nishkam Karma Yoga is a powerful weapon you could ever have. Just keep it always with you. This will be a great way to live your life in celebration. Every karma that you do becomes a celebration of life when you perform it in the style of a Nishkam Karma Yogi. Perform actions, but offer the fruits to the Lord. Have the attitude that nothing is mine. I happily accept whatever the Lord gives, irrespective of whether it is man, sanman, or it is apaman, praise or criticism. Whatever Paramatma gives, it is all acceptable to me. It is all okay for me. Okay, let's go to slok number 30 now. Sarva karmani manasa sanyasya aste sukham vashi navadvare pure dehi naiva kurvanna karayan. A wonderful concept of navadvare pure dehi. Paramatma says the one who is in control of his antakaran, such a Sankhya Yogi, Jnana Yogi, mentally renounces the doership of all actions and thus happily resides in this city with 9 doors, physical body. Which are the 9 doors? 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, 1 ear, 7, and 2 holes for the 2 gates for the disposal of body waste. So this becomes a city of 9 doors. Our body has been given the name of Navadvarpur, a city of 9 gates. Like Bhagalpur, Jabalpur, Raipur, our body is Navadvarpur. So, in short, we are living in a body. We are not body. If you are working in Mumbai, do you say I am Mumbai? If you are working in Delhi, do you say I am Delhi? Then why you say I am body? You are living in body. You are not body. You are living in Delhi. You are living in Mumbai. You are not Mumbai. You are not Delhi. But this principle, why you don't follow when you talk about your body? That I am not body. I am living in this body. So that I, who is the Jivatma, the soul, that is me, not body. See, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin are the 5 senses organs of perception, what we call Jnanendriya. Whereas the tongue, that means speech, hands, legs, urethra, and anus, these are the 5, these are called Karmendriya, that means motor organs in English. The Lord says, be in control of your antakaran, which resides in this physical body, which has 9 gates. 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, 1 mouth, and 2 for the disposal of body waste. This city is given to you for living temporarily. Like you do a job, I say you do a job in Mumbai, do you say you say I live in Mumbai, I am not Mumbai. So likewise, you are living in the body. This place of living will change. Your body may change. And you will get a different place to live at an appropriate time. Like you change the Mumbai job and go to some other place like Delhi or Calcutta, this body will also change. And you will occupy another body, you will shift to another place. The ego, the mind, the intellect and subconscious together comprises Antakarna. That we have seen already. Here, ego does not mean you are what you take normally, the pride ego. Rather, it is the aham, I. Lord says, be in the control of your body and keep your Antakaran pure. Then carry on doing actions and getting others to perform their actions. But while doing so, remain a detached witness. See, the Lord is not advocating idleness, that don't do anything. No, Gita never says this. You have to work and get the work done from others also. But work should not seem like a tedious job. It should be joyous activity. Gita teaches you to be very happy all the time while performing your karmas. Let the senses do their activities. Eyes see, ears listen, nose smells. But during all this, remove the sense of doership. I don't see, I don't hear, I don't smell. These are the activities of senses of the body. Thus, with this attitude, all actions will occur, but without the sense of doership. And that is what is the skill of a Nishkam Karma Yogi is. I think we should stop here. Now the forum is open for all of you to put up your questions. Thank you so very much. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna Bhaiya. Thank you so very much for this wonderful, wonderful Vivek Bhaiya. And I'm sure with all these vivid and live example that you've given us while explaining these shlokas, it's going to become so easier for all us sadhaks to bring this Gita Ji to our life and to be able to stay detached, like you kept saying about the lotus leaf. Now we are open for questions. So please raise your hand and start your camera so that we can unmute you. Bhaiya, I'm going to unmute Seema Didi. Seema Didi, unmute कीजिए दीदी अपने आप को. जी.
Yes. I want to ask one question, sir, that Paramatma has told all this Gita in the field of war to Arjuna.
Yes.
And he first explained him Karma Yoga fully. Then after that, Karmasanyasa Yoga. So in relation to the nation or in relation with that war particularly, what should Arjuna follow? Karmasanyasa Yoga or Karma Yoga? Nishkam Karma Yoga?
This is what we principally discussed. That Nishkam Karma Yoga and Karmasanyasa Yoga are not principally different.
Achha.
Karmasanyasa does not mean relinquishing, giving up your karma, but giving up the sense of doership and the expectation of return reward is the karma sannyas.
Okay. Okay.
While in Nishkam Karma Yoga also, Paramatma says the same thing, that I am not the doer. So both ways it is the same. So Adhyay 3rd Karma Yoga, Adhyay 4th Karma Jnana Karma Yoga, and Adhyay 5th Karma Sannyas Yoga are in chain. They are an extension of the same 3rd Adhyay. 3rd, 4th, 5th are all talking about karma.
Yeah.
They are all Karma Yoga Adhyayas. The names may appear different. Jnana Karma Sannyas Yoga. Now, Jnana Karma Sannyas Yoga, that does not mean Jnana Sannyas. You don't take Jnana Sannyas of Jnana.
Yeah.
The Jnana Yoga plus Karma Sannyas Yoga, that means relinquishing the sense of doership and giving up the return reward expectation. So that is Karma Sannyas, not Karma Sannyas per se, but Karma Phala Sannyas. You give up the expectation. So both ways, these 3 adhyayas are talking of the same principle. That is why Paramatma said, Sankhyo Pratak Bala Pravadantina Panditaha Ekamapyasya Samag Bhuyor Vindate Phalam. Both lead you to the same destination.
Yes. Then in relation with the nation, that all those who are the fighters, they should follow the same.
They should of course follow the same principle, because this teaching is given to Arjuna who is standing in the battlefield.
Yes.
So remove your personal ego, remove your personal interest. You are not killing the enemy because he is your personal enemy.
Yes.
He is the enemy of your dharma.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if he is destroying your dharma, then he is the enemy of dharma. And it is our duty to protect our dharma. And to kill or to eliminate the enemy who is attacking my dharma is a job of a Nishkam Karma Yogi. He is not doing it out of personal interest.
Yes. Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Didi. Ashutosh Bhaiya, please unmute yourself. Satnarayan Bhaiya, you have to switch on your video, please.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
So one point in sloka number 6, this is one sannyasastu mahabaho dukkham apnu ajogyata. What is that dukkham apnu ajogyata? That I couldn't follow. Sloka number 6. Sannyasastu mahabaho dukkham apnu mayogataha.
That means Sankhya Yoga is difficult to follow. Paramatma says that without Nishkam Karma Yoga, it is very difficult to attain the Nishkam. Without Nishkam Karma Yoga, you cannot obtain the Karmasanyasa Yoga. Because a Karmasanyasi also performs some karma. We have seen Paschan Shravan, Vishai Jigran, every sannyasi also does it, no?
Yes.
He moves his eyelids, he breathes. So that is also a karma, no?
Yes. Now, what is that meaning? Dukkhamaptum mayogataha.
It's very difficult. Dukkham is not sorrow. Dukkham is very difficult to obtain. Aptum is to get afflicted with. So
Okay.
Paramatma says it is very hard to attain renunciation of or non-doership from all actions happening through body, senses, and mind. The Nishkam Karma Yogi, though, is absorbed in remembrance of Supreme Divinity. Thus, he attains the Paramatma swiftly. So, sannyasasthu mahavaho dukkhamaptum yogatah yoga yukto munir brahma nachirenadi gacchati. Nachirena means quickly. Karma
That I
sannyas may
follow.
take a lot of time for you to digest and to really put into practice. But Nishkam Karma Yoga, the principle is easy to understand and easy to follow.
Yes.
The karma and remove the sense of doership and remove the expectation of return reward. You have become a Nishkam Karma Yogi. As I said, in day-to-day life, we get opportunities in abundance to perform Nishkam Karma. But we waste those opportunities given by the Lord.
Okay.
So Paramatma says you can become a Nishkam Karma Yogi in your day-to-day life without any problem, without difficulty.
Ji, Murali Bhaiya.
Namaste, Didi and Bhaiya. Thank you very much for the information. I have one question, rather two questions.
Yes.
One is, there are so many different ways, and we all practice different modes at different times of the day, I think, right? It's tough to follow only one particular thing all the time. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes,
It's
very right.
yeah. So it's so does that really mean we still reach our destination though, right? Because we are combining the different modes. Does that still mean that we will achieve a lot?
See, that is what the teaching of Bhagavad Gita is. You perform your prescribed duty. You are working in the office, help your colleagues out. As a husband, help your wife. As a father, help your children. As a son or daughter, help your parents. Perform your prescribed duty in whatever role you are playing. As we discussed, our life is nothing but a Ram Leela. Even Ravana performed his role of a Brahmin and as a fighter of Rama. These are the roles which we are supposed to play in our day-to-day life. But we have to play these roles considering that these are the roles only. I am not the doer. Somebody has scripted these roles for me and I am only enacting those roles. There are some wonderful stories, but the time is not there. Otherwise, I would have told you that story. How we get involved in this role playing. You know, in North India, they have this practice of performing Ram Leela. So what they do is, every year they play Ram Leela. Somebody becomes Shri Ram, somebody becomes Shri Sita, somebody becomes Ravan, somebody becomes Kumbhakarna and all that. If they don't find a lady to become Sita, they catch hold of some man and they treat him like a Sita. They'll put a sari on that fellow and they will say, you are Sita. So then that fellow will say, okay, I am Sita. So in one village in Uttar Pradesh, they decided to perform Ram Leela that year. And then they were fortunate enough to find a lady who agreed to perform the role of Sita. So they found Ram, Sita, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, everybody, Meghnath, everybody. But Hanumanji nobody could find. So they were thinking whom to make Hanuman now. Then one fellow suggested, this sweet meat shop owner, the halwai of our village, that Ramlal, he is quite healthy, tall, well-built, fat, so he can be a good Hanuman. So everybody agreed. Then they went to Ramlalji I will cut down the story so that we don't spend much time in that. So with that, all of them, they went to Ramlalji. And then Ramlal initially declined, saying that, no, I am a simple halwai. How can I be Shri Hanuman? I don't want to be Hanuman. But people said, no, you look very good in the role of Hanuman. Please accept our request. It is for our village. Please accept. Very reluctantly, he agreed. Then the rehearsal started, but in the rehearsal, they don't put on the normal, whatever daily costumes they have. With that only they do the rehearsal. But on the final day, when the Ramlila was to take place, everybody was put in the proper costume. The makeup man came, he put a long tail to Ramlal, he put some teeth on his face, on his mouth, and then he became a total Hanuman. When Ramlal saw himself in the mirror, he could not believe his eyes that he is Ramlal or Hanuman. It was so great. Then the Ramlila started. At the first entry of Ramlal, that means Hanuman, on the stage, the people started clapping thunderously. Everybody welcomed that Hanumanji so well that Hanumanji, that means that Ramlal, was in great joy that people have accepted me as Hanuman so well. He started jumping like Hanuman on the stage. After some time, when there was a Lanka Dahan Karikram, Lanka Dahan program in the Ramlila, that time Ramlalji was on full swing, dancing here and there, jumping here and there, and burning the Lanka. The Ramlila was there, but the entire show was stolen by Ramlal as a Hanuman. The Ramlila ended after 3.5 hours. Everybody put out their costumes. They got ready to go home. Then they said, where is Ramlal? Then people went to search, where is Ramlal? So Ramlal was sitting on the stage with the same tail and the crown on his head like Hanumanji. So people said, Ramlalji, abhi nikal do isko, remove that tail, remove this gada from your hand. Now the play is over, go back home. Ramlalji got very angry. He said, remove the tail? What are you talking? This is my real tail, I am Hanuman. This is my mess, this is my gada. Don't tell me that remove your tail. I am Hanuman. People said, no, you are doing the role of Hanuman, you are not Hanuman. He said, no, don't talk to me, otherwise I will lift you and throw you from the stage. Don't disturb me, I am Hanuman. People said, he has gone mad. When they went to his house, they called his wife and children. The wife came and said, you are my husband, these are our children, see, look at them. You are not Hanuman, you are playing the role of Hanuman. But Ramlalji said, no, I am Hanuman. Go back, I don't know you, I am Hanuman. When everything failed, people called people from the mental hospital, ambulance came, some 10-15 people lifted Ramlalji and put him in the ambulance. So this is the story of Ramlal. Now we laugh at this story, that how Ramlal did not understand that he is Ramlal, not Hanuman. But when it comes to our life, we are all Ramlal in our life. The role that we play in our day-to-day life, we get so deeply engrossed in playing those roles that we forget who really we are. When you are playing the role of husband, you are perfecting the role of husband. When you are playing the role of son, you are playing the role of son perfectly well. But in the process of playing so many roles in the life, at the end of life, when you come and think, what have I done in my life? Did I live the life for my swa, my jivatma, of which fragment, which is a fragment of Paramatma, or did I waste my time in playing different roles only? So this is the teaching of Gita, that you play your roles, but don't play your roles with that attachment that you forget who you are.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bhaiya. Thank you. And we have still not learned the 8th, shloka, but you pronounced it so well. I can't even imagine. I have been trying entire day. We have not gone to the class, but you did it so well. Can you please explain the meaning once more, please?
Oh yes, it is very easy. The meaning of this shloka, slok 8 and 9 is very easy. Pashya is to see. Shronman is to hear, to listen. Pashya, Shronman, Sprushan. Sprushan is to touch.
Okay. Got it.
Jigran is to smell. Unma Shannapi is to take breath and leave. Breathing.
Okay, okay, okay.
Pralapan is to talk. Visrujan is to do body waste disposal. Grunan, Unmishanabhi is to remove your eyelids opening and closing. So these are all the activities which you perform. Pashyan, Shrunvan, seeing, listening, touching, all this. These are the activities which are mentioned in these two shlokas. Naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manyeta tattvam. In principle, we don't do all this. The senses do it on their own accord. Are we the doer of this? No. These things keep happening on their own accord. We are not the doer. When we are not the doer for this, why for other activities, for other karma, we say we are the doer? Why the different rules is applied? Isn't it?
Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate.
Hansa Didi, ask a question. Didi.
Yes, Sadar Namaskar, sabhi ko.
Namaskar.
I have just one doubt. In previous Vivechan, we were told that you should donate certain income of your percentage of your income. And today, what I understand is donation is just to uncover your karma, bad karma or something. So maybe I didn't get it properly or I didn't understand it properly. Could you kindly? I'm sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that.
Doing charities is really very good. We should do charities. And there is a rule that 10% of your income you should use for your dharma. That charity activity, it should be in your day-to-day habit to do some charitable work. But people do some papa karma, and to wash those papa karma, if they are doing that charity, saying that I have now done the charity, so my papa karma is washed out, my balance sheet is now clear, that is wrong. So doing charity from that point of view, with this sense, this thinking in mind, that I am doing charity to cleanse my old papa karma, that is wrong. You are doing papa karma, you are doing charity with Nishkam Bhavana. You are not expecting any return reward of your charity. But you are expecting that my previous papa karma should get washed out. That's why I am doing charity. Then that is wrong. That is not acceptable to Paramatma. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Namaskar. Heartfelt namaskar.
Satnarayan Bhaiya.
Jai Shri Krishna. I have two questions.
Yes,
The
please.
first one you have answered just now. So that first one I won't ask you. The second one is, see, whatever the wonderful talk we had now from you, we are unable to observe everything because sometimes our mind will go blank, sometimes it will fly to somewhere else. Is it possible to make the Geeta Geeta to hear this again and again? Whenever we want, we can hear whatever the amount we want to hear. Thereby we can absorb it much better and we can try to follow it much easier to follow.
Yes, yes. Every Vivechan, every word that is spoken in this session is uploaded on the YouTube. You can observe, you can watch it, you can see it n number of times.
Okay.
Because I appreciate your point that listening it only once may not really be a good thing. If you hear it repeatedly, then it will make bigger sense. That I accept.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can see it on YouTube again and again.
Yeah. Also, Bhaiya, just a gentle reminder to all the sadhaks that you can upload the Learngeeta app, and also vivechan.learngeeta.com. If you go, then the same chapter you can hear Bhaiya's Vivechan or any other speaker, vivechan.learngeeta.com. Very simple site it is. So vivechan.learngeeta.com. And the best is to upload the Learngeeta app. Like so many apps we have on our phone, just upload Learngeeta app and you can listen to the Vivechan anytime. Ji Bhaiya.
Right.
Ji Santosh Bhaiya, please ask your question.
Jai Shri Krishna Bhaiya, thank you for very nice explanations. I have a
Okay.
question or two questions about what you said, that opportunities for doing Nishkam Karma. So you explained that the God always offers many opportunities for doing
Yes, yes.
Nishkam Karma. We just have
Yes.
to recognize it. And I was
Yeah.
reflecting upon it. So
Hmm.
and when we come across such a karma or action or interactions, depending on whether it's a known person or known people or unknown person, and we
Hmm.
tend to that take into action. So it's very hard to do Nishkam Karma when you know someone. Sometimes depends on the interaction in the past, whereas it's unknown, then it's not
Hmm.
hard. So how to take about it? Is it true, and how to circumvent that? That was my first things.
Yeah.
And second question is in the same context. If someone take the worldly sannyas, that means going into Himalaya or somewhere else, then
Hmm.
obviously he's
Hmm.
not in interaction with many people. So that would
Hmm.
it be easy for him to do Nishkam Karma, at least related to interaction of the people? So will less
See, that is
interaction with the people solve,
okay.
I mean,
The
or help? Yeah.
first, I agree. See, the first question first. You are doing something with the person known to you and something which with a person who is unknown to you. So your point is, doing something for a person who is unknown to you, you can do it easily, but doing something for a person who is known to you is troublesome, is sometimes difficult. Okay. Now this question comes because of your attachment with that person. And what we are learning through Gita is detach from attachment. Detachment from attachment. If Krishna can forget Radha, why we cannot forget our contact? Isn't it? Krishna did not have any attachment with anyone. His example is an ideal example for all of us to follow. How to live a life without attachment. Perform your duty to the fullest, but without attachment. It did not rule your mind. Externally, you are a very good lover, you are a very good husband, you are a very good son, you are a very good whatever, but internally, you are nobody. So this is the teaching, and this is what we have to bring into practice, isn't it? It is difficult, but unless we make a try, how can we achieve that? So someday we have to make a beginning, isn't it? So the person whom you love the most may be difficult to develop a sort of detachment from that person. But a person whom you do not like so much, okay, you have some liking for him or her, start from that person to move away from the attachment. Slowly start from that person and then go on riding up and up. So that is how you can inculcate the habit of getting detached slowly but surely in our life. Yeah. But an experiment has to be made. We have to make a beginning sample.
Correct. Yeah. Very often it's difficult to, if there are, depends on the experiences. If the experiences are strainful, then it's difficult to detach. And if the experiences are not strainful, then it's easy. Yeah.
This is again the experience and all that it comes because we are looking at the karma phala. I have done this, but that fellow did not do that to me. So we are having our sights on karma phala. If we remove the sense of doership and the expectation of return reward, then there is no question of any bad feeling, ill feeling coming to our mind. Isn't it?
Yes, thank you. Good explain. Yeah.
What was
And the
second
second question is
again?
still there, that if
What was
somebody take worldly sannyas, he is away from
then-
people.
Right. See, there is nothing wrong in taking sannyas. Paramatma is not criticizing taking sannyas. But taking sannyas, going to Himalaya or going to a secluded place and thinking about your family members, that मेरी लड़की मेरा लड़का अभी क्या कर रहा होगा, मैं इतने दूर हजारों किलोमीटर उनसे आके बैठा हूँ, will they be thinking about me? I'm living a life in Himalaya, so shivering cold here. Will they spare a thought for me? If you are not disconnecting with your family, then why you have come to Himalaya? You could as well do sannyas even while living in the family. So going away from the family does not make you a sannyasi. It depends what exactly your mind is. You should be mentally sannyasi. You should be bodily, activity-wise sannyasi. Not superficially. Putting some Bhagava Vastra and become sannyasi, that is not the spirit of Gita. Gita does not believe in external upkeep, external activities. Internally what you do, internally what you think. That is the thing that Gita values more than your external appearance.
Dhanyavad Bhaiya. Thank you.
Thank you.
Raghavendra Bhaiya.
Krishna Bhaiya.
Yes, Krishna.
I wanted to know, this detachment, this living of Krodha, Lobha, everything is okay. But the thing happening outside, like in the world, okay, like I don't know whether I should talk about this on this platform. I don't know. Happening in all the temples getting destroyed and Hindus getting this thing. We feel that pain or anger, everything comes in our mind. So by learning this Gita, by getting detachment or growth, we are becoming Napunsak. All the Hindus are, don't you think so? Or I feel like that because all the other dharmas teach violence and they get their things done by violence. Why are we not getting this thing that we can get our being in the Hindu country can't get our things done? Why? And how can see detachment, all this is fine, but we have to do something, no? Dharma, if there is no dharma, there is no country, we can't. So that hurts. Whether I'm being angry is good or not in this case.
Yeah, okay. Understood. Your point is well understood. Have you heard Swamiji's video, 3.5 minutes video, which he has circulated everywhere? I think you should have it in your group. You see it in your WhatsApp group, you will find it. But coming back to your question, that are we becoming Napunsak? Are we becoming impotent? Exactly the opposite. Arjuna was becoming an impotent. Klaibyam mas magama partha naitat vayu papadyate. Arjuna, you don't become Klaibyam is Napunsak. Arjuna, don't become Napunsak. Lift your weapon and fight. That is the message of Gita. So Gita doesn't keep quiet, don't fight. But while fighting also, how we can clean our mind, our thoughts, our buddhi, our intellect, and still attain the result, and still gain the moksha, the salvation. That is Gita. That you perform your prescribed duty of killing the people. Arjuna was invoked, Arjuna was told by Lord Krishna in so many words, in so many shlokas, Uttishta, stand up and fight the war. Uttishta, stand up and fight the war. If you wanted non-violence, why would Krishna ask Arjuna to lift the weapon and kill the enemy?
Wow, excellent.
He would not do that. But he is asking Arjuna to kill the enemy. But while killing the enemy, don't bring your personal issues in the picture. Don't bring your ahankar in the picture. You're not killing them because they are your personal enemies. They are attacking your dharma. They are destabilizing the dharma samstha. So Lord Krishna had waged this war for dharma samstha panarthaya, for re-establishment of religion. And that was Arjuna was the hero of that war. And that is why Krishna is giving so much of message to Arjuna, who at the sight of seeing people in front of him, he said, I want to run away from this, I don't want to fight. So Krishna, on the other hand, is telling him to fight the war and kill the people. In today's scenario, I agree with you that we are all frustrated seeing Hindus getting attacked in Bangladesh, in some parts of India as well as including West Bengal. Let us name it. Happening. Yes, it is happening.
What is our contribution in the why? How can I contribute? It all depends on the government. We are helpless, no?
Keep raising your voice in whatever platform you are. Right? You have raised your voice here. Keep writing letters to the editorial. We can write letters to editor in all the newspapers in India. We can keep sending letters to the all medias. At least that much we can do. In your society, in your apartment, wherever there's a group of people, you can open a topic of discussion on this. People keep quiet and then they expect a result from the government. This is not correct. We don't do anything and we expect Modi ji to do everything for us. Is it fair? Let us do our bit
No,
of
that's
job.
what. Yeah, that's what. We can't depend on Modi ji or our governments. We have to have our own. We are not ready. Hindus are not ready to fight when the other people come and kill us.
It is not expected that we take a sword in our hand and we'll start killing the people. It's not expected at this moment, at least. Even that day, that time may also come. Probably we don't know what is the future.
But we are not prepared for it.
Yeah,
when anybody comes,
that is why I say mentally you should get prepared for it. Honestly, now since you opened the topic, how many of us have seen the blood in our life? In their religion, they see the blood when they are 2 years, 3 years, 4 years old.
Yeah.
They cut the animals at the hands of their kids so that the kid doesn't get shaken when he sees the blood in his life. Even when we are at 40, 50, 60 years of age, we have never seen somebody getting killed or somebody who is watching the blood in his life. We get shivers when we see blood.
We are easy targets for them.
This weakness of mind has to go. This weakness of mind has to go, and it will go by discussing and deliberating on this topic again and again in all possible forums. So raise this topic in whichever forum you want.
Ji Bhaiya.
Okay.
Kavish Bhaiya.
Okay. Thank you.
Kavish Bhaiya.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thanks for the very nice explanation. Really wonderful. I liked very much. This is what really I wanted. I also wanted to ask this question. The gentleman asked really wonderful question, wonderful answer. Sir, one more I wanted to know from you. What is Dharma? And also when Sri Krishna says, Swadharma nidanashreya paradharma bhayavaha, just kindly explain, sir.
Okay. Swadharma is your own prescribed. See, there are two connotations to this Swadharma. Swadharma is your own prescribed duty. As we have discussed a number of times, whatever role you are playing, whether in the family or in the society or in the country. By caste, you may be a Brahmin. So by caste, you are a non-violent person, but you join the army. So your Swadharma becomes kill the enemy. You are not a non-violent person anymore. You have become Kshatriya, and job of Kshatriya is to kill the enemy. So that is Swadharma. It shifts from your Brahminical background to the Kshatriya background. Your Swadharma changes. So your prescribed duty is your Swadharma. In Bhagavad Gita, Dharma means your prescribed duty. So Swadharma is your prescribed duty. Second Swadharma is Swa is our Jivatma, our soul. That is Swa. And that Swa, as we have said number of times, is a fragment of Paramatma. Other than that Swa, our mind, body, intellect, senses is para for us, is different for us. So Swadharma, that means to reunite that Swa with Paramatma is Swadharma. Rest all the actions taken by body, mind, senses are Paradharma. So Paradharma is Bhayavaha. Swadharma, Adhyatma, wherein you want to reunite your Jivatma with Paramatma is Swadharma. So Paradharma Bhayavaha. If you get entangled in the material world, in sense gratification, then it is Bhayavaha. But Swadharma, even if Swadharma Nidanam Shreya, even if we have to pass our life in living this with Swadharma, it is better than that other Paradharma. So this is the difference between Swadharma and Paradharma.
But when I want to perform the duty of a Kshatri, I'll be performing Paradharma. It is not my Swadharma. Am I right?
No,
or am I wrong?
No. Your dharma is decided based on your role that you are playing. The day you join army, irrespective of whether you are Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, you have become a Kshatriya. Bhagavad Gita does not differentiate based on Jarma, Guna, Karma, Vibhagayo. Your Guna and your Karma. Your Karma now has changed. You are not doing for Puja Path like a Brahman does. Now you have become a Kshatriya the day you join army. and your job now is of a Kshatriya. So that becomes your Swadharma then. Your prescribed duty is to stop the enemy, and if the time calls for it, kill him. That is your Swadharma then. If you don't kill him, then that is not correct. Then you are not performing your prescribed duty. And that is precisely what Krishna is telling to Arjuna. Don't run away from the battlefield. You will incur sin if you run away. By killing them, you will get moksha. So killing them is a punya karma, and running away from the battle, sparing them for their life, is a papa karma. So at times we have to kill people and attain moksha. That is what Gita teaches us. That you can kill the people and still attain moksha. Like Arjuna was advised by Krishna.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Murali
Thank
Bhaiya
you very
has
much.
one more question. Ji Bhaiya. You have to unmute yourself, Bhaiya.
Namaste, Bhaiya. You were
Namaste.
talking about Krishna forgetting Radha, right? But it is also said Krishna and Radha are same. They are one, right? Krishna is not different than Radha. Radha is not different than Krishna. So does that mean that we have to forget some of ourselves so that we can become one with God?
See, that is when we talk of some platonic love, that level, that Radha and Krishna are same. But principally speaking, all of us are same, isn't it? If we are all fragment of Paramatma, then why we are different than Krishna? We are also Krishna. We are a fragment of Paramatma. Our Jivatma is a fragment of Paramatma. Mumai Vansho Jiva Loke. Then everybody is Krishna. We don't perform like Krishna is a different thing because we get sold to our body, senses, mind, and intellect. That is our mistake. We consider this body, mind, sense, and this thing as me. The day we start considering soul as me and this body, mind, senses, and intellect as per a different, that day we may become Krishna. That day we may say Aham Brahmasmi. I am also Krishna. I am also Parabrahma. But that is a very, very tough challenge to attain to that stage. And Gita teaches us those steps, how to go on those steps and come to a level when you become equivalent to Paramatma the day you say Aham Brahmasmi. I am Parabrahma. But these are the teachings for that only. That give up your thought of doership. Give up your expectation of return reward. These are the 2 steps Paramatma is teaching to the people who are family people. Krishna himself was a family man. Arjuna himself was a family man. They had wives, children, everybody, like we have. So this is a dialogue between 2 family people, and it is told for the benefit of our family people like us.
Okay.
Bhaiya,
yeah, go ahead, Bhaiya. Sorry. Okay. The other question, Bhaiya, is I am also, like Raghavendra Bhaiya brought up, it was a wonderful question. I was hesitating to ask, but he did. And it hurts me in the night, like Swamiji said, I keep thinking about Bangladeshi Hindus. I read that government, when they came, chanting Rama's name for protection, they were sent back. And I'm hurt by that. It is our duty to protect our people, especially the ones in need. And God goes by actions, not just words, right? So we basically we were missing in action at that time. Okay, I agree, but there could be some other elements mixed in there. But it is our duty to weed them out and protect the people in need, right? So how can we send them back like that and have guards along the way when our own people are coming in? How are we leaving them alone? And the other thing is, the Guruji is the first one that I have seen that he expressed it openly. Government, I don't know whether government, I have not seen anything in America. This killing is going on unheeded, and I have not seen any reaction here. I have not, I don't think I have, in India also it has gotten much coverage, right? So if at this moment, if we can't take action. When are we going to take action? Right? And this is against Krishna's teachings, I think. And we should be able to stand by them, and we should be able to do something. Why are we not doing it?
See, there will be a lot of serious repercussions if we do the action the way Israel does it. If you imagine that this thing was happening to Jews,
yes,
would Israel keep quiet?
Exactly. They would not. Right.
They would bomb the whole country, like they have done for Hamas. They are fighting on so many fronts at a time.
Yes.
That spirit they have. But in our case, if we open the border for Hindus to enter, with 1 crore Hindus, 10 crores of Muslims will enter the country. What you will do? How will you stop? How will you distinguish?
Yeah, I understand that. I thought through that too. But we don't have to allow them inside. We can have a place where we can hold them and test see whether they're Hindus really or not. Send the ones back and keep the ones that are really needing help. Otherwise, they're going to go back and they're going to get converted. They're lost for Hinduism forever.
By looking at face, we cannot make out whether he is X or Y. It is impossible. All speak Bengali. All of them speak Bengali. That is why in West Bengal, so many of Bangladeshis are hiding, and they are bringing the government which is anti-India in West Bengal for years together, for so many decades. We could not do anything to them. We cannot throw out 2 crores of people out of India. Where to throw them? To dump them in the sea or what?
Yeah, but if you ask them about Hindu questions that are basics of Hindu philosophy and questions, they should be able to answer. I bet you that Muslims will not answer that. It should be, there are, if we, like Krishna says, if we have the will, there is a way, right? And what I think is we are missing in action now. It hurts me intensely. It hurts me when I think about that.
It hurts all of us. Please take it from me. It hurts all Hindus in India as well. But the problem is, the day we attack, that will be the end. People who are getting saved today, they will also be massacred.
Yeah, at some time we have to face that, right? At some time we may have to face
that. Today, you must have seen on TV or in newspapers also.
Where is the Hindus left now? India. Besides India, there are 2 places where, Nepal and maybe Sri Lanka, right? So we are losing our ground everywhere. Yet we say, okay, we cannot do this, we cannot do that. But when are we going to take action? Action is what teaches.
This is the sinful act of previous governments who were ruling India immediately after independence. After 1947 till 2014, whatever governments were in place, they were all pro those people. All the education ministers in free India were from that community. They taught wrong history to us. We were singing praise of all Mughal leaders, all Mughal killers, that they were very good. And we forgot our own Shivaji and Maharana Pratap. This is the sinful act of those previous governments, which one man will take few more years to cleanse. Give him an opportunity and he will cleanse. But the people get sold out for some thought here and there.
Yeah,
it's not very easy to find an answer to this, but everybody is having that anguish in the mind. Okay, I think we should stop discussion on this topic. We can discuss on this shloka or this Geeta.
Yes, at this note, actually, I would like to bring attention of all the Sevis that right now at 8:30, we will have our Geeta Sevi Bane program today. And our way of contributing it, like Murli Bhaiya said, they should be asked about Hindu scriptures. Frankly speaking, do so many of our children know about Hindu scriptures? Do Hindus know about Hindu scripture? So let's bring Geeta ji to everybody's life so that next generation would at least know about the Hindu scriptures. And best way to serve this country is to bring Har Ghar Geeta, Har Kar Geeta, like our Param Puja Gurudev has said. And for this, let's become a Sevi and let's contribute as much as we can. Raghavendra Bhaiya, do you have
Correct.
question related to the shlokas? Because if it is political, can
Yeah,
you bring
because
it? Because Bhaiya also
this
has to move on to next Vivechan.
particular issue, I
So,
think we should stop the discussion.
yes,
It is
we
not
should
correct.
stop
This
this
question is not meant for
discussion,
that.
please, Bhaiya. Because if you have based on the
Yes.
shloka that Bhaiya did today, Karmasanyasa
Yeah.
Yoga, yes, we can entertain it.
Yeah.
But
we can
we
discuss
do
it.
know that
Yes.
is very sensitive, and everybody should listen to what
Yeah,
our
yeah.
Param Puja Gurudev has said about this topic,
Mhm.
and everybody can
Yes.
contribute by being
Yes.
as pure as we can, as true to our karmas as we can, and become a Gita Sevi. Do attend the program. Bhaiya, we have a couple of more questions. Can I take it? It's already past 8, so if
Yeah.
you say we can take the couple of questions.
Yeah. If somebody is having question about this adhyaya or this shloka, okay, most welcome.
ठीक है सैमसंग के नाम से जुड़े हैं भैया आप, सो आप प्लीज अनम्यूट कीजिए अपने आप को। जी भैया,
जय श्री
आप
कृष्णा।
unmuted। जय श्री कृष्णा
जय श्री
भैया।
कृष्ण।
अभी जैसे वो भैया जी ने कहा था अमेरिका वालों ने, तो एक्चुअली में अपने सभी देवता सब हथियार थे और 1,30,00,000 की पॉपुलेशन बांग्लादेश में।
हाँ।
अब उन्होंने इकट्ठे होकर तो सब समस्या का समाधान होगा। युद्ध तो लड़ना पड़ेगा सर्वाइवल के लिए।
I agree
जय
with
श्री
you.
कृष्ण।
जय श्री कृष्ण
जय
भैया,
श्री
जय श्री
जय
कृष्ण।
श्री कृष्ण।
विजय लक्ष्मी दीदी।
Jai Shri Krishna Guruji.
जय श्री कृष्ण।
Actually, you are telling that Gita is not permanent for Hindus. This is for human being,
Yes.
right, sir? Now,
Yes.
why people started political? Actually, Bangladesh people, Hindus, they want to stay there when separated from India. They belong to Bangladesh. Okay. Who are gone for studies, for job related from Indian, there, okay, our government has to bring back. Otherwise, whoever willingly since so many years staying as a part of Bangladesh public, why we have to think about them? Whoever is destroying our temple, we have to attack only those people, not as per religion, as my understanding of Gita. Whoever disturbing our temples, only
दीदी आप म्यूट हो गए। दीदी, you have muted yourself.
my opinion. So please don't bring political things, all these topics in Gita Vivechan.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful.
We are
That is what
telling
I was
some stories
requesting.
to understand
I was
us,
requesting
like
the same
normal
way.
people like me.
Yeah, I agree with
Okay.
you. I take your point is well taken. Your point is well taken. Any other questions?
Ashish Bhaiya, do you have a question?
Yeah, definitely. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
I want to ask how a karma yogi can attain the moksha and how dharmas are having the sanskaras on our atma.
भैया, should I stop
Namaskar.
this video because his voice broke? एक बार
Okay,
और
I could
क्वेश्चन
take this
पूछेगा आशीष
question.
जी। I'm just stopping your video for a second. Yeah, ask your question,
Yeah.
भैया।
My question was if how a karma yogi can attain the moksha and how our karmas affect our atma, the sanskaras on atma, how our karmas do the sanskaras.
See, let us first understand what is samskara. How the samskar get formed. Whatever good or bad we do, for example, we are now discussing this Gita, Adhyaya Gita shlokas, is a very sattvic karma. Okay. So this sattvic karma is getting registered and is getting in a baggage of sattvic karma in our antakaran. What is antakaran? We have seen already. Okay.
Yeah.
So in
Yes.
antakaran, there are 3 baggages of sattva, rajo, tamo. Every karma that we do, an imprint of that karma gets loaded in the appropriate baggage in our antakaran.
Yeah.
So at the end of life, when this life ends, we relinquish this body, our Jivatma goes for further journey. He carries with him not the property, not the money that we have earned, but these 3 baggages which are full of sattva, rajo, tamo karmas that we have done in this life as well as in previous lives. And with these 3 baggages, he goes to the next life, which is called the sanskar of that new life. And with that samskar, he starts the new life. Now there are means to cleanse the old samskars also. That does not mean if a person is a rajoguni or tamoguni, he can never become a sattva-guni. It's not that. The old samskars can be cleansed. And there are techniques to cleanse those old samskars. That is what we are learning in Gita. How to cleanse our old samskars. So, by cleansing the old samskars and performing new sattvic karma, we can attain salvation, we can attain liberation. That is the path.
And then how Nishkam karmas will help to improve the sattvikta?
Nishkam karma, see, Nishkam karma, when you do, you are doing two things basically. We discussed it some time back that every karma has two poisonous teeth. One poisonous teeth is of Kartritva Bhiman, I am the doer. And another poisonous teeth is expectation of return reward. If you remove these two poisonous teeth of your sakam karma, every karma that you do becomes a karma. That means a karma which does not put you under bondage. And every karma that does not put you under bondage takes you further towards Paramatma. You march further on your path of liberation when you are performing Nishkam karma. Because you have no bondage. You have given up the sense of doership and you have no sight on your return reward. Then what is binding you here in this life? Nothing. You are a free bird. So that is why a Nishkam karma yogi can attain liberation, salvation, moksha. Because he has no these two poisonous teeth, he has removed from his karma. Sense of doership and expectation of return and reward. If we do karma by removing these two things, every karma becomes a karma, that means a karma which does not put you under bondage.
Ji Bhaiya. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Bhaiya. I would fail in my duty if I do not thank all the Sevis working behind the scenes to make this session such a successful event. Our tech team, our IT team, our anchoring team, and all the people working selflessly and relentlessly to put this together. Thank you all wonderful Sevis, our tech star, our Neema Didi and Santosh Bhaiya. Thank you so very much. Thank you for the prayers. And last but not the least, our sadhaks who give us this opportunity to hold this, serve the divine in you, the divine Krishna in you. Bhaiya, with your permission, I would once again like to remind everybody that Param Pujya Gurudev's vision of Geeta, Har Kar Geeta, Har Ghar Geeta has been possible. And it has reached 182 countries thanks to the selfless volunteer work by our Sevis, more than 12,000 Sevis working round the clock from 4 a.m. till 2 a.m. in the night. We are having sessions. So please do join the Aao Geeta Sevi program Bane at 8:30 right now after this, and try to see where do you fit in to bring Geeta ji and to keep our Sanatan Dharma alive. And Geeta ji, who's given the level of a mother, Ma, we call her Ma Geeta. So bring her to every possible Sanatan Dharma person in our life, around us. Bhaiya, with your permission, can we bring this session to the close?
Please.
For offering the entire session to the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, I would invite our Mamta Didi, who is from Mumbai. She is MSc. She joined Geeta Pariwar in February of 2021, and she is doing Tet Seva. Didi, can you please do the closing prayer for us?
Jai Shri Krishna, Didi. Yogesham Sachidanandam Vasudevam Vrajapriyam Dharma Samstapakam Viram Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Jai Shri Krishna to all.
Jai Shri Krishna, everyone. Thank you so very much for joining to make our dharma, our karma. Let's go towards bhakti. And who better than the Param Bhakta Hanumanji to go and be Sharnagat with him. So let's sit together, do Hanuman Chalisa. Santosh Bhaiya, Neema Didi, can we play the Hanuman Chalisa?
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारि बरन रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फलचारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा गानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र औ ध्वजा विराजय कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजय शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सिहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर सहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए रघुपति कीनी बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही समभाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावै अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीना तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र योजन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर पल जानु प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज समारो आपै तीनों लोक हाकते कापै भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवै महावीर जब नाम सुनावै नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावै सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै चारों जुग प्रताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नो निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावै अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटई मिटई सब पीरा जो सुमिरई हनुमत बल बीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर गोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़ हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय।
Jai Shri Ram, Jai Hanuman. Do come back next week for more such lovely examples from our Bhaiya.